Y'all really want me to review Space Jam 2, Space Jam Legacy? Here we go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Q Reviews. In this Q review, I'll be reviewing Space Jam 2 or Space Jam Legacy with LeBron James and a bunch of Looney Tunes. Man, this movie's a whole lot of fun. I had no idea. This might be the biggest surprise of 2021. I might not know shit about movies or reviewing them or whatever, but this is just how I felt while watching this film. This film is a shit ton of fun. Let's get this out of the way. In 1996, I was around 20 years old, so I'm not the biggest fan of the first Space Jam. It's not like embedded in my childhood like that. It doesn't hold a special place in my heart like a never-ending story does in my heart coming up as a kid, because I grew up in the 80s, so in about 96 I was around 20 years old. So that one I remember being a huge deal. Everybody, because Michael Jordan's in the movie and everybody went to see it because Michael Jordan's of course one of the best basketball players in the world, and I thought it was alright. So when Space Jam 2 Legacy came up and I seen the trailers, I was like, yeah, this looks pretty bad. I don't know if they can pull this off, especially with LeBron James. This might be a huge hit for Warner Brothers. I know they're gonna be putting a lot of money into this, but it doesn't look good. The trailers did not look good. They look actually pretty fucking bad. So I went in with low expectations. I got a free screener the other night. My whole family went, me, my two sons, and my wife, and we'd go check it out. And man, this shit was fun, dog. This shit actually had me busting out laughing in my seat. Alright, the story is actually not bad. So LeBron James, of course, he plays himself. LeBron James, the big superstar. And he has a couple sons. One of his sons can hoop. And one of his sons, don't really care for the hooping. He likes to develop video games. It's a little subplot at the beginning there about LeBron James and him playing video games. And not storing it on his son, so he wanted to play video games. They end up in this virtual world that's controlled by Don Cheetah. I think his name's Al G Rhythm, and they end up he has to play for it to get his son out of this algorithm like the Matrix or whatever, so they play for that. And of course they bring the Goon Squad back, and LeBron James goes in the game. He doesn't have a team, so he has to recruit the team, and that's basically the story of Space Jam Legacy. Now the funnest part of Space Jam Legacy is when LeBron James goes to recruit the Goon Squad team, because LeBron James, you got all the WB properties. I'm not going to spoil it here too much, so he want to get, everybody up in the game, but, that turns out not to be quite the case, and he ends up going through a lot of Warner Brother property. Now, I'm going to say this without spoiling it too much, because there's a lot of surprises I think people will see. It's a big ad for Warner Media. So everything you think of Warner Media is probably in this film. And is that a bad thing, all this product placement? I don't think so myself. Why not? I think all of this shit is fun. I mean, we got multiverse. We got shit like Loki going into all type of different verses. We got 100 different Spider-Mans in films. So y'all going really there? Like, it's a part with Wyatt Coyote that kind of blew my mind. Like, y'all really taking it there. And they take it there. And I want to say the pacing is really good in this movie. Straight up with the 2D animation with the cartoons is a plot with LeBron James in Toontown with just Bugs Bunny there, and they explain what happened to the rest of the Toons. I thought that was a really good subplot before you get deeper into the story about recruiting this team, and then they go recruit this team. I think was very awesome. I'm going to talk about the villain. Don Cheetah here is super cheesy, over the top, but he knows exactly where he is. He knows what type of film this is. He knows the ridiculousness of this film, and he plays it up to a fucking T. I've really enjoyed Don Cheetah's performance in this film. And I want to say another great thing. I'm getting to all my positives right now. The fucking CG in this film is fire. Like the Goon Squad, I think they got a character called Wet Fire, is a pretty good shit from CG, because he goes from water to hot like really, really quick. And they all kind of based off of NBA characters. And I want to say like all the NBA stuff that said about LeBron was brought into this movie, you know, and there's a lot of breaking the fourth wall that I think is pretty cool, and I think it's for children and adults alike. I think it's a very enjoyable, fun movie, and if I can be honest with you on my positives, I had more fun in this movie than Black Widow. How did that happen? I mean, I enjoyed all the shenanigans, the ridiculousness of it all. I want to say this, like when the Looney Tunes went full CG, it was a little jarring at first, but after you get used to it, it's fine. Porky Pig has a rap battle. I mean, that's kind of, you know, cringy. I mean, it's not 100% firing on all cylinders on the comedy. Some hit, some miss, but it was more hits for the comedy to me than miss. And I want to say this about the Looney Tunes. What I don't think they really touched on too much in the first movie, the Looney Tunes powers. They got things when they go to the game like style points and things like that. So they up the ante on the style points. And when it gets to the Goon Squad, they was wrecking shop. So it was really cool to see though. But then when the Looney Tunes come in and then they get their stylish points, they actually represent all they kind of little special moves, or they make up little special moves that were really fucking cool and creative. I was like, this is kind of fucking creative, you know, to be this. So like, this movie's not garbage at all. It's very watchable. Is it on a level of like a Toy Story 3 Pixar film? No, not at all. Not at all. It's silly. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. But this is the type of movie that they say you should shove popcorn in your mouth and just enjoy it, because that's exactly what it is. I totally enjoyed it. If I had any negatives about the film, LeBron James acting is atrocious. It's really, really bad in this film. I liked him more as a cartoon than he was in live action, but you could tell he was having fun with the material, and they tried to write it out the best that they could. Like Don Cheadle, you know, ridiculous as his character is, it still kind of holds LeBron James and carry me along with the Looney Tunes, and it's a fucking fun movie. Like the cameos in this shit, y'all not gonna believe. I'm just telling you like that. This movie releases Friday on HBO Max. I would see it on a big screen, to be honest with you. It was really cool and colorful, and all the CG was fire. I really enjoyed this film, man. I'm not even holding you up. So honestly, if I had to score Space Jam Legacy, I'm honestly gonna give it a 3.8 out of 5. I enjoyed this film, like I said, more than Black Widow. Only thing that's really bad is LeBron James' horrible acting. The script and the mythology that they try to create is ridiculous, but it's tangible, and they try to do the best they could with it. Some of the CG with Don Cheadle in this weird Matrix world didn't look so hot, but when they got on that court, it was like a fucking CG fun fiasco, and it was fucking fun. So I definitely advise you guys to check out Space Jam. Or y'all checking out Space Jam? Let me know, please, in the comments below what you thought of this movie. It might suck. I might be like, shitting on people's childhood, but I personally enjoyed this movie way better than the first one. You know, call that sacrilege, but I really didn't dig the first Space Jam. I like this one. I'm gonna watch it again here on HBO Max. Well, once again, guys, thanks for watching this episode of Q Reviews. And if you like this content, go ahead, please hit me that like button. It helps the algorithm. And if you really like this content, consider subscribing to the Q Review family. And don't just stare at it, eat it. That's all, folks. Peace.
I'm out cold, you hoes been exposed. Walk up on you slow with the flow and unload. You got more left for dead on the road. I strode when your car got towed.